First Alert Meteorologist JD Disharoon here, and as we kind of take a look at our forecast for the next several days, the good news is, Sunday, tomorrow, and Monday, not really looking too bad out there, but by the time we get into Tuesday, that's when we do have our next First Alert weather day, and that's going to be, for a lot of heavy rain, and then for the potential as well for some local flash flooding as we get into the event. And then once we get to Thursday into Friday, we're going to be looking out for river flooding because a lot of the heavier rain up in North Georgia is going to be eventually making its way down as it tries to make its way to the Gulf or to the Atlantic, depending on which body of water it's in. And so that's going to be an issue we're going to be looking at for later in the week. So really, we do have a large system that's going to be coming into our direction and could ultimately cause issues for us for several days. Now, as we go in towards this evening, we're looking at temperatures quite nice, partly cloudy skies, 69 degrees here in Atlanta during the 8 o'clock hour, and not a big change. So about the same as what we saw yesterday, but when that rain starts to arrive, we are going to watch these temperatures start to drop. And that's not surprising, given how warm we've been. The average high this time of year is really about 56 degrees. So we're trending about 20 degrees above that. And even now, we're looking at temperatures about 15 degrees above that average. So it has been a big change from the cold air we saw here in January with those 2 rounds of snow. Temperatures during the overnight aren't really going to drop too much, maybe about 10 degrees as we head towards the sunrise hour. 62 is what we're going to bottom out here into the city. Now, outside of that, we do expect cooler temperatures. It's a little obvious, 59 in Carrollton, 56 in Canton. The further south and east you go, though, the warmer it's going to be. So 64 in Covington, Eatonton, Thomaston, LaGrange looking at 62. And then we do have the 40s for the mountains, so quite a brisk start for those of you up in the North Georgia hills. Now, granted, not as cool as it could be or will be as we get into next week, so kind of keep that in mind. I want to show you our future track for tomorrow. Waking up that 62 degrees, maybe a few isolated showers around. Our shower chance tomorrow really is going to be on the lower end of the spectrum, and anything that does come will come in the morning hours. Now, by the time we get into the afternoon, we do expect the northeast area of our state to start to clear out a bit, and then the clouds really to hold on south of Interstate 20 and I-75. Now, by the time we get into the evening, clouds start to overrun the area. All that's in advance of that system that's slowly going to be moving in. Now, Monday's dry-ish. I say ish because we do got a 20% chance for a shower there. But as we go in towards Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the 2 models that we really look at, obviously there's a few more than this, but the 2 big ones, the European and the GFS, which is the American model, those are in good agreement on just how much rain we're going to see. Notice both of them have at least 3 inches of rain across the metro areas. Could be up to 5 or even 6 inches of rain. And then the higher rain totals, the farther north you go. So what they're not quite agreeing on is just kind of, the timing of the different rounds of rain, because it's not going to be one push. It's going to be several pushes of moisture that are going to be making their way into the system. Now, the Weather Prediction Center, they're the ones who issue the guidance on the flood threat for our area. And for Tuesday night into Wednesday, they've got us at a level 2. So that's a slight risk. I don't really like that name, slight risk. It kind of minimizes it a bit. When you see a yellow risk this far out in advance, we're talking 4 days out for Tuesday night, 5 days out for Wednesday. What that's telling us is they have very good confidence that we're going to be seeing at least some type of flash flooding. So at least some of us will be likely to see that flash flooding. So if you live in those areas that are very flood prone, they flood all the time when we get heavy rains in, this is an event you will need to watch out for because unfortunately, I think with the deluge of rain that's going to be moving into our area, combined with the short amount of time really it's going to be in here, it's going to be causing a lot of issues out there. Meanwhile, I do want to emphasize, Sunday, that rain you see there on the icon, that is the morning. By the afternoon, sun starts to peak on out. Temperatures in the upper 70s. And then I do see, as we go into Monday, temperatures starting to dip just a bit. Now, granted, 64 still almost 10 degrees above average. By Tuesday afternoon, really into the evening hours, that's when we expect this rain to start to push on in. And it's going to be mostly rain Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, I say that, no, there's no threat for any frozen precipitation whatsoever. What I mean by that is by Thursday, once we finally get the front into the area, there could be just enough instability in the atmosphere to get some storms and maybe even a line of storms to push on through. So that's why we do have the lightning indicator there for your Thursday. Once it does, colder air is going to rush in and it's going to clear us out. So Friday morning, I expect us to start off with partly cloudy skies and be almost sunny by the time we get into the afternoon. And temperatures about average for this time of year. We're looking at 58 degrees for your Valentine's Day, maybe flirting with the 30s for Saturday morning here into the metro area. North Georgia mountains definitely in the 30s as you wake up and walk out the door for your Friday and your Saturday mornings. Now, we are going to be looking at the potential for another system to roll in next Saturday. So I'm talking like a week from today, still a little far out to kind of pinpoint exactly where and when the moisture arrives. But the overall pattern shows either Saturday or Sunday of next weekend, we do expect another heavy rain system to roll through the eastern half of the country, including us, and then help to cool us off even more. It looks like the back half of the month is definitely going to be well below average compared to the front half being well above average. So who knows? We may even this all out. But as we go through the next several days, you'll notice that slow change in the temperature over the course of the next few days. Now, I do want to mention, because Chad asked about this, we did a little over an hour ago, he was asking about the earthquake in the Caribbean. So, yeah, it's about 130 miles south-southwest of the Cayman Islands, basically between Honduras there and the Cayman Islands. It was a 7.6, which is a pretty big earthquake. Thankfully, did not happen near land. However, he mentions and he wants to know about tsunami warnings. We don't have any tsunami warnings at the moment. What we do have, though, are tsunami alerts for Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So that's one of the things that we're going to really kind of keep an eye on there. It's going to be going for the next several hours there. It's happened so recently that they're still trying to gather a lot of information and a lot of data on this system. In fact, behind the scenes here, I've got the United States Geological Service up. So let me go ahead and look and see if they've gotten any updates with that, because they're going to have it first before it kind of comes over the wire here. Let's see now, still, because it was initially reported as an 8.0. So they've now, with their updates, they've now gotten that down to a 7.6. I'm slowly getting over to the tsunami side. So, yeah, so we do have tsunami advisories for Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, but that's it. We'll just kind of have to wait and see if any of those get updated, upgraded, or anything like that. So, that's some good news of what could be a bad situation considering, it was such a powerful earthquake there. Other than that, I think the big weather story really is just going to be this rain that's going to be coming in. I'll kind of finish us off here with our rain forecast. Again, I want to emphasize tomorrow, if you're going to be watching the big game, maybe do it outside. Set it up in the backyard. It's going to be warm, 70s. I think we're going to see some peaks of sunshine in here. Most of the rain, if we even see any in the morning, will be gone by then. Monday looking dry. And then again, want to emphasize first alert weather day for afternoon to evening rain on Tuesday. And then by the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday, just torrential rains off and on as we go throughout that 48-hour period, leading to flash flooding and then eventually river flooding for Thursday and Friday. Don't forget, you can always get your fully updated 7-day forecast on the First Alert weather app, and then we will join you live on air at 11 o'clock this evening. Have a wonderful evening.